This is big for exporters and I guess importers and all of us really. The European Union, the world's biggest trading bloc, has given the green light to start negotiations. That's just negotiations at this stage for a trade deal with New Zealand and Australia. But while a free trade agreement could pump billions of dollars into the economy, well, 1 to 2 billion, not everyone is happy. One cheese producer says a trade deal would hurt the speciality cheese industry. Looking at this for us is our Deputy Political Editor, Chris Bramwell.
The award-winning Whitestone Cheese Company produces a range of products from blue to feta in its Oamaru-based factory. Its chief executive, Simon Berry, says for specialty cheesemakers in New Zealand, news that a trade deal with the EU is a step closer isn't that great.
Our domestic market is being flooded with tariff-free, cheap, subsidised specialty cheeses into our domestic market, and these guys work on reciprocal deals. So when they go into Europe, they negotiate a tariff-free export for us, and in return an import tariff-free to New Zealand. So it actually makes things worse off for our specialty producers.
Simon Berry says it isn't a level playing field, as New Zealand producers, unlike their European counterparts, aren't subsidised. Local cheesemakers also have to pay global prices for their raw products.
We can't compete when it comes to price or cost of production and so on. So our products domestically are more expensive than the free imported European products. So it's great for the commodity negotiation, but when it comes through to the specialty side of things, we'd like to see tariffs put in place at our border to prevent these cheap imports being flooded in.
But the Trade Minister, David Parker, says that's not going to happen.
And I doubt that we would. No, I wouldn't think we would.
Do you understand their concerns, though?
I think New Zealand's on a route from volume to value, that we've got increasingly sophisticated cheese products that we will sell into the New Zealand market and into the European market in the future. I think it's an overall upside for the dairy industry.
The EU is New Zealand's third largest export market. Export New Zealand's Executive Director Catherine Beard says a trade deal will bring benefits across the board. She doesn't see any problem with geographic indications, regional products protected by EU rules like parmesan or champagne. In fact, she thinks it could work in New Zealand's favour.
Because we do, for example, have quite a global reputation around Sauvignon Blanc and in particular Marlborough and particular wine regions in New Zealand. So I think our wine industry has been working really hard over the years to build a reputation for quality, and if we can have our geographic areas recognised in these sorts of trade agreements, then that gives them a whole lot of protection and takes that brand globally.
The Chief Executive of Horticulture New Zealand, Mike Chapman, says a lot of produce is sent to Europe, and New Zealand is one of the few countries that still faces barriers in that market.
Onions, apples, kiwi fruit will all benefit from this. Plus, it will open up opportunities for other vegetables and fruit that might not be being exported to Europe. And it also means that in terms of dealing with any issues related to access of our produce to Europe, there'll be mechanisms in place to help with that.
New Zealand onions currently get slapped with a near 10% EU import duty, kiwi fruit close to 9%, and sparkling wine €32 for every 100 litres. The EU Trade Commissioner will visit in June for the formal launch of the trade talks, with the first sit-down discussions in Brussels in July. A tui te whare pāri mata mō te hōtaka o te ahi pōnei, ko Chris Bramwell ahau.